Hi, I'm John Archer at Backbone Connect. I'm a Solutions Director here, but I'm an advocate for sustainability, a big fan of all things environmental. Oh, it really is. Sustainability is having a big influence in design and construction, whether that's new build or refurbishment. The projects that we've seen, the developers, the real estate landlords, they're looking very, very closely at the performance of the building, the design, the materials. It's driving a lot. It's influencing the projects very, very heavily. So even things like the choice of materials, the design of the building, they're big factors. We realise now that actually the data that you need to provide for sustainability, particularly your carbon impact and evidence, it's driving people to have really thorough life cycle assessments, and now they're really looking to source materials that have an environmental product declaration. Because only when you've got that quality of data can you really evidence the impact of the development. Also, if you do use materials that have an environmental product declaration, an EPD, it will gain you points towards BREEAM, and a lot of the developments we're working on there striving towards BREEAM excellent or outstanding. Yeah, they definitely have a role to play. I mean, smart buildings, they're become increasingly laden with tech, sensors, controllers. We're familiar with thermostats adjusting heating and cooling, but sensors and controllers, they're looking at light levels and air quality, occupancy within the building, and they will show a net saving in energy. But they're also smart enough that they can detect things like the occupancy levels that helps with catering, and that will reduce waste. They can sense in some cases where meeting room bookings have changed, so that they can actually adapt the meeting rooms and the logistics within the building. So yeah, collectively smart building systems and IoT, it will have a place definitely in improving the efficiency of buildings. Yeah, it really does. So the technology in the buildings, all of those lovely sensors and IoT systems, all these controllers, they really do rely on connectivity. Historically they've been hardwired in, but increasingly these kind of controllers and sensors, they need to communicate on a data network. And as we all know, so many things are in the cloud these days that often you've either got an app on your phone or the building relies on some sort of mothership in the cloud to exchange data, which brings a whole new world of communications to play in buildings that traditionally had a building management system in the basement. So now you're building that's bristling with all this smart tech, relying heavily on a secure data network that performs well within the building and is secure from the outside. And that's a new challenge, as we know, for landlords and developers, as to how to protect those systems, how to allow that data to flow securely and also reduce your attack surface from the outside. Yeah, it really can. If it's planned properly, a secure data network can allow all of these different systems to happily coexist, so that your music and entertainment system doesn't trip over the access control. All these sensors and controllers can pass their data securely. Information screens can be safely attached to the network as well, and beautifully segregated. But it's really important it's done in a structured manner. We've seen many examples where these systems are implemented in an ad hoc way, so that actually the systems are either competing, tripping over each other, or just end up with multiple ad hoc installations and separate ISP lines. It's really wasteful. Yeah, absolutely, and for quite some time there have been building sort of telecom certification schemes that have been advocating the use of fibre distribution systems within buildings to make it easier for occupiers to connect. Many of the young, fast-growing fintech and creative businesses that we're working with, they're outgrowing smaller office spaces. They're looking to move into, should we say, more traditional real estate. And they're finding that they can view a building, they love the location, the numbers work out about right. As soon as they ask about connectivity, their expectations are they'll be in within a month of signing heads of terms, and yet they're going to be waiting 3 months for an independent fibre connection to come in, plus a way leave. So it's super helpful to have a structured fibre scheme within a building. It helps the landlords, it helps the tenants, much more efficient and kinder to the planet. Yeah, I mean, we can look at an example where a building's undergone refurbishment, and in a traditional sense, when that building approaches completion and the occupiers are having viewings, if they do like the location and want to go ahead and bring in their new connection, it very often means that you've got multiple service providers clamouring to install services in risers and trying to get their cabling across already finished and decorated floors, lifting up floor tiles and disrupting finished works in ceilings. And if you think about over the life cycle of a building, if you've got an average lease, let's say 5 years, that business changes, grows, needs to relocate. A lot of the legacy connectivity lines are left behind in the riser. In some cases, even the equipment can end up in landfill. So it's much more efficient to have a multi-use, multi-tenanted service platform in the building, an open access fibre network running up the risers so that it's secure, it can be reused time and time again. So after a longer period, the payback's even better, so that this same building platform, the connected building platform, can service the needs, the connectivity needs of both the building and the occupiers for many years into the future. Yeah, and some of the much larger developments, in many cases they have a range of floor plates and occupier types. Some want the flexibility to move in and out of smaller suites. They demand connectivity. It's great when that's plumbed in hand with the landlord, with perhaps a serviced office facility. The greater the number of floors and the more office demises there are on a floor, the greater in the long term the turnaround. So you really want to minimise the repeat installations, that whole travel and packaging and materials and waste that goes on, the disruption to the building and perhaps other occupiers each time a new connection goes in. And again, played out over a longer period of time as the turnover of occupiers in that building and the new installations, it just all accumulates. So having that common multi-tenanted platform and a built-in fibre backbone really helps reduce impact on the planet. So yeah, dilapidations have been a challenge for landlords for years. You've only got to look at one of those ongoing, and perfectly good reusable kit and furniture ends up in a skip. It's pretty heartbreaking, and of course that's very harmful to the planet. So with dilapidations, and certainly where we've seen turnaround with occupiers in buildings where they're backbone customers, even that last 30 metres of lateral fibre we can recover, coil it back to the riser or keep it safely under the floor ready for the next occupier. And the kit that we would terminate our service on is not going to go in their skip. It'll come back into our stores. It's perfectly fit for purpose. And even if we got 2 decades into the future and we had to end of life, we have responsible WEEE recycling that can recover all of the raw materials, the metal from the chassis, the components, and the gold from the connectors. So we've got a great story when it comes to lessening the impact on when it comes to dilapidations. Well, the EPD goes into an extraordinary amount of detail. So we looked at everything from country of origin, the electronics that we're utilising in our platform, the weights and materials, the thickness of the paint on the cabinet. We even looked at the size, weight and material of even the fibre patch leads and the tiny little pins that are in the splice protectors. At one stage we even had to open up one of our fibre termination boxes and measure the metal on the lock, because we realised that the termination box was plastic but it had a metal lock. And if you do that right and if you do it detailed, you'll be super confident about the data that you're providing. So that's why an EPD kind of has to be thorough, and that way it can be relied on. It's a trustworthy source of data.